afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast from the host Imperial Dane, featuring today a 1 vs 1 on the fields of Langres. We shall be watching Garzia fighting for the Wehrmacht, the 322nd Infantrie Division. Opposing him shall be WohiTiger, fighting for the Americans, fighting for the 3rd Armored. We are seeing a standard start so far from both players, although note, Garzia is focusing very much on getting the Wehrmacht quarters completed in his swiftly. That can be a bit of, again, a matter of taste. Some players, prefer just to have one pioneer squad and their squad working on, others, prefer to get it out quicker. With the Wehrmacht, it usually doesn't lead to a greater difference, and usually there's perhaps a small benefit on just getting people out, to take points. But again, those are just some of my comments on the matter. Ultimately, it is up to your own, decision. But we are seeing a full squad coming out first for Garzia. Garzia being one of the players who's actually a bit known for going very, very heavy onto full Grenadiers. WohiTiger being another player who's again known for being rather fond of his full Grenadiers. Perhaps hoping for some sort of full Grenadier award medal from Oberkommando des Heeres. Who knows? But we are seeing a rifle squad moving up here. Right hand side, moving up here. Volkskriegs moving up as well. So infantry versus infantry. Infanterie gegen Infanterie. Dun dun dun. And there we go. Opening up the first engagement. Volkskriegs quickly march past. Apparently not so interested in going up against the Yankees. Second squad of Volkskriegs on the way for Garzia. Point being secured there. Volkskriegs taking a bit of a rest here, which by the house. Apparently someone is smelling pie. Yeah, champagne pie. That does not exist, Heinz. Oh, scheiße. Oh well, going for the fuel point right there. Garzia now moving in with the Volkskriegs. He was actually waiting. And again, that's something you can note from the mini-map, or even there, that something's flashing. He was apparently hoping to get the jump on the rifleman. Rather interesting maneuver right there by Garzia, but of course the rifleman will be able to take it, and I don't think he'll be able to get that much out of, ambushing the rifleman right there. In fact, he did very little damage, although that could have happened. At the same time, we are seeing a swift move from WohiTiger towards the left-hand side with his engineers, while the rifleman continuing the focus of the right-hand side. A second squad of Volkskriegs up. Also note, but wide down there to deny heavy cover to the Americans. Interesting enough, he could use the pioneers actually to, assist the Volkskriegs by giving them some heavy cover. In fact, we see heavy cover going up right here. Sadly, though, there's actually no infantry nearby, and a pioneer goes down. Poor sod. Third squad of Volkskriegs going on here. Volkskriegs fighting up behind the bushes. Rifleman taking continued losses as more and more Wehrmacht Soldaten opens fire on them. And of course, the more Volkskriegs get together, the more effective they can be. Not because there's some sort of, aura effect between them, basically because, the sort of slight effect they do have at ranges becomes greater as they, they become more, particularly, as they get more of the single-shot STG-44s. In that way, that can be a sort of slight synergistic effect. But again, it's not one, implicit in the game mechanics. It's sort of more, because again, you do get more Volkskriegs and more firepower of the slightly superior kind. In a 1 vs 1 fight, the Volkskriegs are not the one for the advantage. In greater numbers, though, and if you coordinate them properly, they can get an advantage against the riflemen. So that is something to consider, I would say. And we do see Garzia rather using that to some nice effect. But nonetheless, though, initially he's not having that much luck. His swift retreat out over here, in fact, doesn't quite make sense. And in fact allows WohiTiger, to retain a lot of his territory while continuing to take away territory from the Germans. Trying to go here for the fuel point, but running into quite a bit of Wehrmacht troubles. The engineers are definitely getting a beating. They are running the gauntlet, and I fear they will not make it home. There we go. 3 engineers gone, but again, overall, Garzia rather sacrificed a lot of territory to pull that one off, so I don't think that was worth it. And we're seeing, in fact, a 4th squad of full Grenadiers on the way for Garzia, while WohiTiger continues on the pressure, although short 1 engineer squad. 2 rifle squads going to encounter there. The full Grenadiers, 3 squads. Riflemen definitely will not have the advantage unless they can catch the Volkskriegs out in the open, and the Volkskriegs are quick to pull up behind cover. Light cover and heavy cover in some cases. There we go, though. Now the riflemen are quite simply surrounded. There we go. Quickly suffering casualties much swifter. They are trying to focus down the more lightly entrenched Volkskriegs than the ones in heavy cover, but the riflemen nonetheless are taking heavy damage. Browning automatics now pop up for WohiTiger pretty quickly, but nonetheless he can't muster enough firepower against this large a force of German infantry. Even Volksgrenadiers. But there we go. This one, on the other hand, could be won. Since the Volksgrenadiers, there we go. In fact, we do see a swift retreat from Garzia. We see pioneers being equipped with flamethrowers. And we're seeing a 5th squad of Volksgrenadiers. This is a very heavy tier 1 at the same time. Of course, he knows he can get away with it because he's facing off against BARs, but at the same time, of course, he also has to be careful because with BARs, he does risk, his Volksgrenadiers quickly are going down and quickly are feeding WohiTiger a lot of veterancy to his rifle, and thus making them considerably faster, much more vicious to deal with. So that is vital. We do see the Kampfkraft Center going up there for Garzia and the 322nd. Rifle squad there going again for the fuel point. Consistent harassment at that point. Very nice. Very nice. And we do see some riflemen sneaking up there and there. Veterans are on the way for the infantry. Volksgrenadier squad here going to get assaulted from several sides. In fact, might risk even the cut-off path. Well, cut off. Weapons supplier going up for WohiTiger, so obviously he might be already hoping to shift things a bit further against Garzia. And there we go. 2 squads of Volksgrenadiers moving up. And the riflemen are quickly coming under fire. They could try with a bit of suppressive fire, but sadly they could easily find themselves outmaneuvered because again they're only 1 squad and there is no heavy cover, which could mean there we go. Volksgrenadiers quickly drop 2 riflemen. There we go. Swift retreat from WohiTiger. Another rifleman squad moves up while the other one legs it. Mine up though. Good move there by Tiger, and continued fighting over here. This will force Garzia to sort of divert a larger force, and interesting enough, no mines. Instead we see efforts in the center. Minesweepers up for Garzia. That was bloody close. Just getting right past the mine there. Motor pool going up. Riflemen here coming under fire from the Volksgrenadiers. Behind the fence, they do get a bit of a drop on some of the riflemen who will be out of cover. More particularly these 2. So that could be to the advantage of the Volksgrenadiers. There we go. Although the fence is falling apart for the Volksgrenadiers, there's still the shrubbery, but there we go, a full retreat from Garzia's squad. Motor pool almost up. And we're seeing 6 squads of Volksgrenadiers up for Garzia. I mean, he's going to be left very open to that armoured car.
Yes, sir.
Well, that's definitely going to be to the advantage of WohiTiger and the 3rd Armour. Volksgrenadier squad here coming under fire. Riflemen pushing forwards. Quickly pulling up some cover though. The riflemen though possess heavy cover, and we're seeing more forces being sent in to assist WohiTiger's 1st rifleman squad. Pioneers pushed off. Minesweeper pioneers moving up. Volksgrenadier squad holding up the center. Forces moving over there, but again, very, very large infantry force up from Garzia. Considerably large, in fact. Very heavy. Certainly something to take note of. And working them apparently in pairs, which is also a good strategy, or at least a good tactic. Though again, he is very much setting himself up to getting hit by an armoured car, and that is certainly what is going on. And of course, Garzia, or WohiTiger for the larger part, is tried to avoid getting into a too large engagement, instead hoping then to avoid this larger force and sneak about, which has so far actually worked out reasonably well. Skirmish phase completed. Armoured car rushing forwards. And immediately opening up on the Volksgrenadiers. Staying though at range to avoid some mighty Panzerfaust. Also slightly more at the later stage of the war, sarcastically known as the Stuka-Fuss.
We are ready to push back the Yankees. What are your orders?
And of course the question is, how will Garzia actually react to this? I mean, he's a bit in problems. And there we go. Large infantry force going up against each other. Riflemen, though, actually severely bleeding. There we go. Make negative cover. Not good, not good. The Volksgrenadiers get the advantage. Then there was only 1 squad left. Very little health. Armoured car pushed away. The Volksgrenadiers. Heavy losses. 4 kills already. Definitely not very solid there. Of course, he might have been a bit preoccupied with what's going on in the west. Stormtroopers out, and he's going to equip them with Panzer Schrecks. Die Raketenpanzerbüchse. Probably some troops lent out from another division, though. 2nd Panzer Division. Panzer Grenadiers found in the nearby area and providing some assistance, having been cut off from the main unit. Armored cars rolling about. A small but lethal patrol from WohiTiger. Let's go have a look at him. And there we go. I mean, we're seeing 4 Volkswagen squads, a quite sizable infantry force in the west.
Light mechanized here.
The Krauts are going
Panzer IV moving up. Careful of the mines. Vorsicht mit den Minen. And these are, by the way, very commonly mined spots, so it's of course no surprise that WohiTiger is being a bit cautious around here. Perhaps, you know, not running into them. Oh, there we go, nonetheless. Heinz got a bit startled. Ach du lieber, ein Frog! Or something like that, and ran straight into the mine. That's good. Mine there from Garzia, rifling up here. More rifle moving in. Flamethrower ponies moving up. Stormtroopers, no, taking up covering position in the house. And there we go. Greyhound running straight into it. Mine goes off, killing a rifleman. Could there be an attempt at a Panzerfaust? I don't know. Anti-tanking on the way. Riflemen continue to keep up the pressure on the Volks as the Panzer IV Stormtroopers hold the armoured cars at bay. But these are clearly not the best of the 322nd, although the 322nd was not exactly an elite infantry division. It would have been about average, I believe. Stormtroopers, though, taking heavy fire from actual fire. Flamethrowers, and there we go, quickly retreating. Rückzug. And there we go, we see WohiTiger continuing the pressure, forcing back the Germans, although only 3 infantry squads, even the BARs, I mean, they are being quite severely overextended by all of these Grenadiers. Plus, I do believe there's actually a no triage center for WohiTiger, so I mean, he has to be careful. I mean, he's going to be fighting a slightly loosey fight, particularly since they are veterans. One for the Volkswagens being they get healed. He doesn't. I mean, this is sort of a losing battle and a war of attrition that, well, Garzia can much more easily win since he does know how to play with the Volkswagens. And now we do see veterans, 2 up for his infantry. And of course, I mean, it's actually a bit rare nowadays to actually see, you know, players using the Stormtroopers for anti-tank duties. It used to be actually quite common a patch or 2 ago, but it has somewhat changed now. Pioneer Squad goes down, but the Waffen here take a heavy beating again. The German infantry advances a bit too much. Too many of them. Oh, Rifleman Squad actually went down for WohiTiger. That is going to be devastating. That's going to increase the pressure. And there we go, in anti-tank and open. We do see Garzia charging forwards, hits a mine, but the other squads can continue. Vorwärts, Männer. Wir müssen die Panzerabwehrkanone nehmen. And if you could do that, I mean, that would definitely problem. And we're seeing 3 armoured cars out for Tiger. My goodness, that's also a pretty rare sight. But it's definitely, you know, cutting through the Germans, you know, just tearing their Volkswagen squads apart. The guns are reasonably accurate, and with the 3 enough, you can actually get off sufficient firepower. Plus, you know, 50 calibers. I mean, this is actually quite nasty. And it's actually not going to be enough for the Stormtroopers. I mean, 1 Stormtrooper squad is not going to cut it. I mean, it's just going to get overwhelmed if the armoured cars operate in a wolf pack, which looks to be the case. There we go, pushing through and pushing them around. Rifleman Squad moving up to support as well. And there we go, Stormtrooper quickly goes down to the 50 caliber, and there we go, quick retreat. Another unit goes down, Engineer Squad is lost. Armored car pushes against the Volkswagens up here in the west. Heavy fighting, heavy losses. The 322nd, though, continues to fight against the Yankee Dogs and another Stormtrooper squad. More stragglers from the 2nd Panzer Division apparently find their way. Armour comes up on the Volks Grenadiers. No packs and no nothing as of yet from Garzia. And we are seeing replacement rifleman squads now coming out for WohiTiger. That is nice. No supply upgrades though. No medic bunker from Garzia. I mean, considering all the Volks Grenadiers he has, all of them, I mean, it is quite peculiar not to see a medic bunker. I mean, he's got now 8 squads of infantry. I mean, he really should get a medic bunker because that is something that will produce a lot of casualties. Yep. And normally one would expect that of a player who goes heavy on the Volks. For some reason, Garzia seems to be of a different opinion, at least for the moment. From here, though, getting absolutely hunted down. And one certainly feels that, you know, at the same time that perhaps Garzia would be more suited in the Soviet army. Slightly blob tactics there. Needs to be a bit careful though. Armored Doctrine, though, is up for WohiTiger, so no worries about strafing runs. That mine going up there between the two covers. The two haystacks, but the immediately coming under fire from Volksguns and Rifle Squad here. Also coming under fire again. Much directed firepower from the Volksguns. There we go. Armored cars quickly roll in, opening up a volume of fire on the Volksguns. They have not seen in some times. Bunker going up. Rather close, right in the middle of everything, in fact. And this is just turning into a massive engagement. So much infantry, armored cars, engineers, BARs, Panzerschrecks now arriving, stormtroopers rushing up. Heavy losses on all sides, but the Americans are taking the brunt of it since they are somewhat outnumbered. Volksguns here, on the other hand, are taking a beating 50 caliber fire. And there we go, they are finally pushed away. German infantry continues to push, though. Dual Panzerschrecks all connect with the armored car, as more fire is unleashed upon the German hordes. Though one would perhaps like to see a bit more spread from Garzia and a bit more cover usage. Lots of mines though from WohiTiger. Consistent mining as well, and remining spots already mined. Good, good, good. Very nice to see. Some players can forget a bit mining at some stages of the fight, so that is nice to see. Both Stormtrooper squads and now one even with a BAR to add in some extra firepower against the enemy infantry.
What's our plan?
And there we go, using the armored cars for harassment, leading upon the slightly more defenseless Grenadiers. Very nice, very nice. There we go, Volksguns on the run in the north.
Where we headed?
Question is, of course, what will WohiTiger do now? In particular, now that Garzia is pretty much fortifying the central area and creating a very, well, nasty strong point. I mean, WohiTiger will need some serious firepower to dig the Germans out of this one. Advancing up there, though, should be careful. Minen, and there we go. Pinned immediately right in front of the Pioneers, and the Volksguns quickly rushed off. Pushing up the center, though, but again, very much infantry to keep them down. And what is this? The Sturmhaubitze rolls out from somewhere. Unit unknown. Stu 42 that fires away. Rifleman over here, coming under heavy fire from the Stormtroopers and the Volksgrenadiers. Rifleman taking an absolute beating. As again, they're simply outnumbered and outgunned. And there we go, Rifleman squad is lost. WohiTiger loses another one. The armored cars do what they can. But again, volumes of Panzerschreck rockets are unleashed, severely damaging one of the armored cars. At the same time, another one does great work here, harassment up north against Garzia. Volksguard squad needs to get out of there. Mine goes off down here, quickly killing and suppressing quite the German infantry force. Stu 42 advances, and mine goes off, damaging the engine. Nasty stuff. At the same time, infantry continues to push up the center, taking losses in the process. Anti-tanker moving up, might try to get that Stu 42, although again, they need to deal with the German infantry force, although Stormtroopers have now been pushed back. Should open up for the armored cars to make a charge right between everything, or at least, slowly push them back. We do see a controlled retreat from Garzia. Pulling back to the next more defensive areas, perhaps might want to recapture that central victory point, eh? Heinz? No veterancy for the Stu 42 as of yet. Anti-tanker now quickly scares off the mighty Sturmhaubitze. Not the first sort of this type of weapon. In fact, there was a precursor to it. There was the Infantrie Geschütz, I believe, which was also a precursor to the Panzer IV. Actually, it was a Sturmgeschütz which was sort of modified to actually be able to contain a schweres Infanteriegeschütz, that is a heavy infantry gun. Not a lot, though, did see service, but they did come about. Volksguard here hitting a mine and getting assaulted by the riflemen. Not doing too well, not doing too well. But they do manage to get out, and so far, I mean, Garcia's not really lost a squad of Volksgrenadiers, I believe. I mean, he's, for someone who does use these tactics, I mean, he's not playing it badly. He's not wasting troops, which is, what one might imagine with a player like this. He'd just be throwing them away. But he's actually doing an admirable job in, you know, keeping them intact, you know, not just wasting them. So in that sense, I mean, there's also something, you know, good to comment on, something positive. And something, again, you know, I mean, actually the reason I show this is partly, again, you know, to show that there's, you know, more ways to play the Wehrmacht. And I mean, again, though, also if you're going to play heavy with infantry, again, get a medic bunker up earlier. But, you know, also, you know, work with them in teams and work with them a bit sensibly. But current situation, I mean, WohiTiger's a bit under pressure. He's having trouble dealing with all this full screens, with all the stormtroopers. Now, a sniper out for Garzia. He needs something to push them back. He's got 3 armored cars, which can, you know, slowly chip away, but it's a bit of a dangerous endeavor. He does need more infantry. He's also got armor, so something you could consider, of course, and he's going right-hand side, of course, I suppose, is a Calliope, otherwise a Pershing, otherwise perhaps even going for a tank depot and some Shermans, and that way trying to break his way through the German lines. Garzia, on the other hand, needs to consider, you know, getting something a bit more than just full screens and stormtroopers. Perhaps might be idea to, you know, either go for the tier 3 or tier 4. At this time, though, tier 4 I think would do well. Some Panzer IVs, perhaps some Knights Cross for added a bit of extra fun. But there we go, let us return to the fight of the day.
The Axis are winning the battle. Get back on the fight.
Stormtroopers sneaking about. Troops are reinforcing. Armored cars patrolling on the flank. No mines there from Garzia. So there's actually oh, and clever usage of the armored cars actually to do harassment. Great stuff, great stuff. Also what we rarely see, but again, very nicely done here by WohiTiger. Very nicely. And then we got considerably large full-scale force. Will they try to panzerfaust it? No, armor car quickly pulls off nonetheless, though has rendered the point neutral, buying himself more time. Munitions here also going to get rendered neutral. Perhaps even secured fully.
And that's the ball game. Construction finished.
Mines going up there, lovely. Lovely. Floating out our resources again. I think he might be saving up for something bigger. At the same time, what ones are going to be pushing up pressure. And there we go. We are seeing Garzia making ready for another assault. It looks like encountering those squad riflemen in the middle of the road. Though they do quickly get over to some craters and take cover. But the German infantry push up, and again, 3 full-scale squads are able to lock down a lot more firepower. Armor car here, though, taking heavy hits from the Stu-42. Needs to be careful. Panzerfaust, and we could see the Panzer X finish it off. And then we go. Armored car goes down for WohiTiger. An absolutely devastating loss. Though he did manage to actually get that munitions. Map control is something he does have. Another anti-tank gun out for WohiTiger. It's actually time to look at Garzia again. My apologies. Pioneers getting run off left-hand side. The German advances up through the center. Again, very solid front line. We even see a Grenadier squad now, and he gets more Panzer strikes for them. Some of the slightly more better troops of the Infantrie Division, probably from the Fusilier Battalion, which was the, well, it was the 7th Infantry Battalion in the Infantry Division. It was usually considered the slightly more elite one, and it also served partly, you know, the role of elite battalion within the division, but also it was the reconnaissance unit. And they tended to be somewhat better equipped than the regular units as well, I believe. Although, of course, that might not always have been the case. And dual equipping them with Panzer strikes as well. Clearly, Garzia is very worried, though he could also perhaps consider a single LMG to help with some American infantry. Though that is obviously not the greatest threat from WohiTiger, but nonetheless could make that a bit easier. Calliope on the field now, though. And we do see him finally taking up. A bit late for that, I think. Anti-tank guns moving around. Armor cars getting ready. Looks like WohiTiger's preparing some larger offensive. Pushing up the center. Mines going off. Folks here on the left flank getting pushed away. Medic continue to pull in the wounded. And German sniper homes up. Getting his first shot of the day. Raven here coming under heavy fire. Veterans run for the Stu-42. Raven here taking a beating. Raven continuing pushing up the center. In fact, trying to hunt down the sniper. Garzia, though, managed to get away with the sniper. The 22nd hold out. But there's still nonetheless a lot of fire being directed against the riflemen. Just continuing, but again, so much firepower being directed by full guns and riflemen and Grenadiers and whatnot. Anti-tank gun here, though, could get overwhelmed. In fact, stolen by the Germans, by the Krauts. Then again, might just get wrecked by Panzerschrecks.
Target eliminated.
Will he take it? Yes, he does. He does, though. Just... Oh, a Calliope barrage straight on the anti-tank gun. WohiTiger, rather than risk it being used against him, destroys it and the crew on it. Absolute carnage. So certainly a bold measure right there. And this bunker is definitely in need of repairs, but Garzia doesn't have a lot of pioneers left.
Yes, sir.
That is something he might want to work on, and he continues to take up. So clearly he's intending something that does involve the Panzer Command, and we do see a second Calliope out for WohiTiger to keep up the pressure on the Germans. Medic bunker collapses under the severe volume of rockets leveled against it, and another push from WohiTiger, pushing away the Volkskriegs. Might even get off some good shots there on the stormtroopers. There we go, they are run off.
They're losing territory.
And the Greyhounds roll out as well. The Greyhound, rather interesting enough, was actually originally intended as a tank destroyer. And American tank destroyer doctrine for a large part of the war always tended to be a bit confused and unsure what it's actually supposed to do. In fact, one of the earlier mobile tank destroyers was actually a Jeep with a small anti-tank gun strapped to the back. So that is something to consider. Another Calliope barrage against all the German infantry rockets flying down and snuffing out the lives of good German soldiers. Veteran 2 on the way for the armor. He does have some pioneers now. He probably will be setting up the Panzer Command anytime soon. And there we go. Immediately works get underway. Grenadiers going straight for it, but very heavy fire. Oh, both rockets miss. Fritz, can't you hit the broadside of a barn? And still, I mean, Garzia has all 3 squads of Volkskriegs still alive, and the 2 stormtroopers and a Grenadier squad. I mean, he's got 9 squads of infantry. I mean, that's a lot of infantry. A ton even. There we go. Panzer Command is up. Stu 42 getting blasted though. Anti-tank rounds impacting with the armor, causing very nasty things to happen on the inside of the assault gun.
We are losing ground.
Volkskriegs a bit under fire here from the riflemen, and another Calliope barrage unleashes hell on the larger scale. In fact, dual one. Quite impressive. Trying to get the armor cars with the stormtrooper, but is ultimately forced away. And again, using the other armor car to take territory. Really nicely played there by WohiTiger. So imagine, and there we go. Panzerkampfwagen 4 on the way from the 2nd Panzer Division. Lovely, lovely. Also received a very interesting book yesterday. I won the combat history of the 23rd Panzer Division. A very large book, looks very interesting. I'll be sure to inform you of my final opinion of it, but so far quite interesting. Lots of pictures besides lots of text. That's actually quite interesting. Armor car here though taking hits from Panzerschrecks, and that could actually be the end of it. Oh dear, that's quite the lucky armored car. Well, of course the Stu 42 finishes off. No, he fires too high. Crikey. But Panzer IV is almost ready. And interestingly enough, of course, you could consider going for the right-hand side first instead of going for a Tiger right away, and instead, you know, get manpower blitz up. Oh, there we go. The first Panzer IV rolls out. Lots of rockets unleashed. Impacting with stormtroopers. And oh dear, looks like a squad actually went down. And finally, a Volkskriegs squad actually bit the dust. I mean, that's quite fine to the match to make it alive. So impressive that, I suppose, but tragic that they were lost. They were true heroes of the fatherland. Panzer IV might want to point in the direction of where the enemy might actually be coming from instead of the trees. There you go, Ruffin advancing, going straight for the Panzer IV. There we go, though, lots of machine gun fire. And of course the Panzer IV main gun. Firing high explosive shells, tearing through the riflemen. And they continue to take heavy losses. They are probably intending to get off a sticky bomb, but they're not quite succeeding in their endeavour. Further fighting over here, riflemen. Oh, they're running a gauntlet with all the Volkskriegs. Apparently they all managed to miss. Good job, Heino. Oh, the Grenadiers in heavy trouble. 2 armor cars really doing a number on those Grenadiers, and already 1 Panzer left behind. Flamethrowers pushing up, but WohiTiger is severely undermanned, understaffed even. He's continuing losing rifleman squads. He's still down to 2, and now he's getting a sniper out to try and deal with what Garzia has. And there we go, huge calliope barrage, but only killing a few. Explosive nonetheless, though. But let's return to WohiTiger, who is currently being slowly but surely pushed back by quite a grand offensive from the 322nd Infantrie Division. And fighting over here, the Panzer IV doing what it can to keep the Panzer out of the hands of the pesky Americans. Sticky bomb, though, goes off in return. A dirty sock to you, Herr Panzerkaptein, or Lieutenant. Grenadiers, though, on full stress. Oh, only 1 of each. Looks like Garzia might be getting a bit desperate. Pioneers are rushing forward to the scene of devastation. And WohiTiger is probably going for a purging as quickly as he can. He is definitely a bit in trouble. Grenadiers secure the Panzerschreck, and they need to get out of there schnell. Swift repairs on the Panzerkampfwagen 4. The Germans were generally always noted as being good at recovering their own vehicles. Something the British even noted during the fighting in North Africa. How they'd move in during the night and pretty much just quickly pull them back in and get them tanks back in action. Very much, well, you know, maintenance and recycling minded, these Germans. Whereas with the Americans, I mean, if they basically just threw away stuff they didn't need. So a lot of aircraft were dumped into the sea for that matter.
We have 300 points left.
Rockets firing away. Oh, nasty barrage right there for the Volkskriegs. Immediately get blasted into the dirt. Stu 42 advances. Stormtrooper and sniper run into each other, but these are the dual Panzerschreck ones. And I mean, it would be a bit too lucky if the Panzerschreck actually killed the sniper on the retreat. No, he doesn't see the mines. You're just a bit predictable with them. And secondly, the sniper just, you know, can also be a bit luck. I mean, I'd say he's convincingly hit enough mines. At least, you know, just being a bit careful. Oh, well. Sadly, with all these rumours spreading out, some people do get a bit more paranoid and you sort of get out in that witch hunt mentality, which is never very good, because then, of course, you'll see map hacks everywhere. I've certainly been accused of some silly things, or even other kinds of hacks, including one where one person accused me of disabling his mouse. So again, as much as so when it comes to all this hacking nonsense, I'm pretty much a non-believer. Right here, though, taking a beating. Snipers opening up. Panzer IV moves up as well. Heavy losses being inflicted on the Americans. Rifleman, though, makes it out of there alive. Panzer's advance. And Rifleman sneaking up behind. Very nice and aggressive move there. Sniper getting hunted down. And the 30 caliber emplacement, quickly suppressing all the German infantry. Not entirely sure what Garzia is intending to do here with his armor. And what is this? The Tiger has arrived. The Tiger is here. Have no fear, mein friends. And sticky bomb. Rather deftly thrown that. Quickly damages the engine.
Casualties being reported.
Stu 42 has actually been immobilized. Sticky bombs getting lobbed at Liebertum at it. Only one anti-tank cadets moving forward. Panzer IV needs to be careful. Rather than actually getting suppressed by heavy machine gun fire, they've got a final sticky bomb to finish off the Sturmhaubitze. And there we go. Anti-tank gunfire on the Panzer IV, hitting the rear. Heavy damage and going to move straight into the riflemen. And they're veteran 2, they could get off a sticky bomb. No, looks like the Panzer IV successfully escapes the grasp of the riflemen onto their sticky bombs. And heavy caliber barrage, another sticky bomb. Looks like the sniper makes it out of that one alive. Damaged engine on the Panzerkampfwagen IV. Tiger needs to move up quickly. Lots of infantry needs to move up quickly to keep that Panzer IV going. The riflemen continue to hunt despite heavy fire from the Panzer IV. Oh!
Taking casualties.
Oh dear, he was trying to throw it, but he was crushed and the sticky bomb detonated basically. Oh dear, and the Panzer IV goes down, veteran 2 for the riflemen. Leaving behind only the Tiger. And another Calliope barrage immediately opens up on the German infantry, send them away, fighting over on the left-hand side, involving the armor car, continues to inflict damage upon the troubled Germans. And a mine goes off, damaging the engine. A Panzerfaust could easily finish it off, but there we go, they fight and react. And we are seeing field repairs quickly going up, meaning the armor car could swiftly escape the grasp of the Wehrmacht. Tiger tank though advances. Quite successfully even, it looks like. But without any infantry support. And there we go, immediately coming under fire from an anti-tank gun. Oh dear, sticky bomb on the Tiger tank and a second anti-tank gun. And the Tiger's removing the cover, allowing both anti-tank guns to fire on it. Oh dear. This is disastrous for Garzia. He got too confident, too bold, too aggressive. I don't know. Either way, he just committed a cardinal sin with the Tiger. He advanced it in on its own too swiftly and has it exposed to heavy anti-tank gunfire. And more worryingly, it is the rear of the Tiger that is exposed. And there was no infantry support. This Tiger is going down. And there we go, out of control, absolutely. Awful by Garzia. I mean, he's a pretty decent player, if not good. I mean, to see him conduct such a mistake is a bit disheartening. Of course, not to say that, you know, a high-level player does not make mistakes. They just generally tend to make less of them. Another Panzer IV rolls out. Also, fun fact, it is a common mistake for some people to actually mistake the Panzer IV with a Tiger tank, and that was certainly also a bit common during the fighting in Normandy, which also resulted in a disproportionate, in fact, large number of Tiger tanks being reported knocked out. So, fun little fact. And there we go. Mine goes off, killing 2 stormtroopers, immediately damaging the engine of the Panzer IV, leaving it quite vulnerable. And more stormtroopers moving up, straight into the minefield, I fear. There we go. Panzer IV tries to get out there. Greyhound actually moves up, getting off a nice hit on the rear. And there we go, full assault going up here. Snipers firing, none of them hits.
We are losing a sector.
Very close to getting a Pershing for WohiTiger. Very close and very close to hitting that mine, and that's a Greyhound mine. There we go, anti-tank, and they're getting swiftly sorted out. German infantry, though, needs to keep up the pressure. Forwards for the fatherland. And now going anti-tank gun decrewed. Dual Calipes once will fire away a storm of death and fire.
We're losing a strategic sector.
Firing on us!
Fighting going on left and right.
Pershing reserves are now available. We're losing a strategic
And there we go, the
sector.
Pershing arrives. Definitely should put some pressure on the Germans. Panzer IV getting repaired.
The Huns are taking our territory.
But now Garzia is definitely in a bit of trouble. He's only got a Panzer IV that can really sort of deal with it. Some of his Panzer troops as well, but they have been rather worn down lately.
Taken by the enemy.
So of course the question is, will Garzia be able to hold out now? Mine going off, and Greyhound, oh, hits the mine right in front of the Panzer IV! And pushing up through the center, Grenadiers getting overwhelmed by a solid American infantry combination, and field repairs once more allows the Greyhound to escape.
Supply lines are broken.
Pershing pulls up the center. Riflemen once more going for the fuel point, and they succeed.
Losing ground out there.
And Pershing goes straight for the Panzer IV. There we go. Nice hit. Nice hit. Almost down to half health now. More Calliope rockets flying straight at the entrance of the German base. Devastating German infantry as they try to make their way up. Wehrmacht quarters down. Unit down even. And the Panzer IV is in a dire state. And there we go, Panzer IV's down. Most of the Gazia's infantry is still there, but you can't really do much with it. So there you go. Rather interesting match. Again, we saw some very, very heavy infantry play from the Germans. A bit rarer that, but definitely interesting. When we saw you know, how Volkskriegs can work, you know, reasonably well. We also saw, you know, when they didn't quite work as well. Usually when they were on their own. Though again, you should also be careful about blocking up. Usually again, the two pair is, you know, the most effective way of using the Volksgrenadiers. Garzia, though, rather ran into problems. Won the armor cars right in that way. WohiTiger was able to, you know, sort of nicely counter it by, you know, keeping at distance. Even the Stormtroopers ran into problems with that many armored cars. And he should, you know, have gone for a Kriegbands, gotten himself some packs. Instead, he was very greedy, went for the Panzer Command, had some luck with that, but even then, he ran into problem with all the sticky bombs and the anti-tank guns, and that Tiger move was absolutely disastrous, and I'm still a bit boggled by why Garzia actually did that. That was a bit too risky, but also nice mining from WohiTiger. Very nice. The medic bunker there from Garzia should have been, I think, over here. And probably also a lot earlier. But overall, interesting fight. I hope you learned something from it. If you did, why not subscribe and tell your friends? If you didn't, well, why not send a replay of your own? Or, you know, provide some feedback in the comments. This is Imperial Dane saying cheers. Feel free to follow me on Facebook or Twitter.